Welcome back. You're watching NSE FinViz powered by CNBC TV 18 Season 2. It's now time to go over to the audience as they put forth their questions for our experts.
My name is Tina. My question is, let's say, suppose if my monthly income is X, so ideally how much percent that income should goes into savings?
Okay. Deepak?
Yeah, see, I think it all depends on your present situation. Do you live with your parents, then you don't have any rental outgo. So it all depends on that situation. Do you spend on living expenses, your living expenses for example. So all these calculation one has to go in. So what one needs to do is one needs to look at your cash flows. What is my income, what is my tax outgo year on year, and what is the amount of money that I'm left with, and what is more important is what is the objective behind my saving. What am I saving for? Am I saving to buy a car? Am I saving to acquire a property? Am I saving for my retirement? That is very important. If you get your objective in place, then one can decide what should be your amount.
Hi, I'm Abhilasha. My question is that in this current market scenario where the Sensex is moving up, is it the right time to invest in real estate or gold or actually mutual funds? So where do I actually put my money?
I personally think that real estate in the country is overbought. Okay, there's not as much demand as it seems to be. So we would say that last 10 years, last decade has been very good for real estate because the opportunity cost of investing in equity wasn't too good. So the next 1 decade would not be as lucrative to invest in real estate for the fact that real estate has a longer cycle. Equities have a smaller cycle. If you go back 20 years and then see the previous decade, you would see real estate actually not doing well at all. So we are getting carried away with the performance of real estate from 8 to 10 years perspective, but then the next 8-10 years don't have something very rosy from a real estate perspective. See, gold is not an Indian asset only, right? It's a global asset, right? Indian real estate is Indian asset. Gold is a global asset. Okay, but when you actually see the price in India, it is in what terms? It is in rupee terms. But if you actually forget rupee terms and see the gold prices in the world globally in the form of dollar, it has only given 2% return for the last 35 years per annum. 2% return, okay, it will be surprising, but what happens is in India, it is converted into rupee, and rupee has kept falling and depreciating is why it looks prettier.
Thank you, Feroz, and thank you, Deepak, for that. It's been a lovely session. We've gotten a question from a viewer. Her name is Shruti. She lives in Bombay. She's about 36 years old, and she says she has a 4-year-old daughter who she hopes to send abroad for an education when her daughter reaches 18 years. So that's 14 years down the line. She said that currently the budget, the cost looks like around 50 lakhs. So she's asked your advice as to how much should she maybe save, she and her husband should save per month, per year, so that they can be ready with that fund when their daughter is 18.
Now, since she has spoken about foreign education, so there is a component of inflation as well as the currency depreciation that may happen or may not happen. So we do not know what will be that.
Okay.
But one thing is very clear, that the time available to her is very long. It's a 14-year period, correct?
Yes.
And whether this figure of 15 lakh includes that cost in terms of a dollar cost, we do not know.
Yeah.
Correct. So, but what one can advise to her is that considering that you have a 14-year period and you are looking at a foreign education, there is going to be an inflation component. Even though inflation in United States or UK may not be as high as in India, but in the education sector it is still significant. But there is a large component of currency depreciation that may ruin her plans. So what she needs to do is she needs to invest in an asset that will give her that additional return in terms of protecting her against both these inflation as well as the currency depreciation.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Feroz. Thank you so much, Deepak. Thank you so much for having us here.
One point that I'm going to take it back is Feroz said that term insurance is very, very important, and so far I've never considered term insurance on a priority. So I'm definitely going to take this point back.
Basically, it gave me a lot of inputs on various segments that we can look at and not look at. Definitions of how real estate and what gold does to you and where to invest, and of course some little bit of calculations as to what should be the actual savings and what should be the actual money that has to go into your future. So I think these are the points that I take with me with the session that we've had here today.
Point that these people presented that the salaries will have to be calculated for 15 years, the 15 times the salary of what we earn to plan our retirement was really an eye-opener. We had never thought about such cases. So that is something which I really look forward to, in planning in the coming days.
Well, that's all on this episode of NSE FinViz powered by CNBC TV18. If you have any questions for our experts, please feel free to email us at fwq@network18online.com. We'll be back next week with another set of young employees at another organization. Until then, from the entire team, many thanks for watching.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.